Hello everyone and welcome to the live stream. I hope that you're all doing good. Tonight we're going to be hanging out for a while and I'm going to be talking about a couple of things. I have a lot to discuss tonight. I want to talk about The Matrix, The Witcher. I want to talk about some DCEU rebootage that I've already done a video on. Lots of follow-up topics. So, tonight we're going to be talking about The Matrix Resurrections and how terribly it's doing. But not just how terribly it's doing, because the movie itself hasn't done amazing at the box office. And yes, it was released online on HBO Max on release day, but the numbers haven't been great. And now we have one of the producers coming forward talking about the future of The Matrix. And they put a lot of money into Resurrections, and it kind of seemed like they wanted to do more movies and kind of just rejuvenate the franchise. But apparently, no. One of the producers is saying they have no more plans for other Matrix movies. And I'm going to be honest, it's not really a surprise to me after watching Resurrections, even though it seemed like they could do more. I thought it was very mediocre, and a lot of other people did as well, because it's not sitting at great review scores right now, audience scores. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the Book of Boba Fett. And even though there is only one episode of it out, I have seen it, and I'll give kind of my brief thoughts on it. But apparently the ratings are not doing as well as Disney wanted. Now, listen. I feel like a lot of Star Wars fans would, at the beginning, be very excited for the Book of Boba Fett, because who doesn't like Boba Fett? Boba Fett's cool fucking bounty hunter, lots of action, you'd think. And I think that with the trailer and with kind of the information we had heard about it, a lot of that hype died because we found out that it's going to be, and it already is, a new perspective of Boba Fett, a new version of Boba Fett. Like, he's been reborn, and he's very different now. And you definitely get that in the first episode, and I definitely think it's gonna get worse throughout the show. So, there's a rumor going around right now that, it's just not doing as the first episode, because, the first few episodes usually do pretty well, because people are drawn in, they want to see what all the fuss is about, they want to see if it's going to be a good show or not, and then numbers slowly start to drop. But apparently, right off the bat, the numbers haven't been great. I'm going to be talking about The Witcher Season 2, and I am going to be giving you guys some of my thoughts on the second season, because I have watched it all at this point, and I liked Season 1, as I've said in the past, and I thought Season 1... it was a little bit different than source material, but overall it was a pretty good experience. And with Season 2, there were things that I liked about it. I thought that some of the aspects were much better than they were in Season 1. I thought that they made some good changes in Season 2, but unfortunately, there's some big issues with The Witcher Season 2 that I kind of wanted to talk about. And I kind of picked this article to go along with it, just because it kind of highlights this writer's point of view on the show, and I do agree with a couple of the points. I'm going to be talking about The Guardian and the new Person of the Year poll that was deactivated after J.K. Rowling took the lead, and they decided, because she was taking the lead, they were gonna remove it, because of course. It's not very surprising, but as soon as someone starts winning or starts getting ahead, that these websites, organizations, people in general that are running sites don't like, they delete anything to do with the original poll, post, whatever the case may be. And in this case, oh no, J.K. Rowling was winning. So they just they decided to remove it without making any statements on it. I wish that I could say I was surprised, but I'm really, really not. And then we're going to be talking about the DCEU reboot. Now, I did talk about this in a video, but I thought that we could talk about it again, because I know a lot of people have been chatting about it over the past few days. A lot of people are very upset with some of the news that some of the male characters we've seen are being replaced with female counterparts. And, oh boy, I think we all knew deep in our hearts that this was gonna kind of happen, because, let's be honest, nothing can exist now if there's men involved. Whenever there's men involved in movies and shows and just entertainment in general, of course, they've always got to have that strong woman right next to them, and then eventually the woman overthrows the man. So, we're going to be talking about that, because the new DCEU reboot that's being rumored supposedly is dropping Batman and Superman for Batgirl and Supergirl. I like female leads in movies and TV shows, but what I don't like is taking characters like Batsy and Superman and completely throwing them to the side, just because. Literally just because. Because they either want to claim they have more diversity and inclusivity, because they want to go with a DCEU, whatever the case may be. I wish that they wouldn't do something this stupid, but it's absolutely no surprise to see that they are. Truly and genuinely, DC has been going in this direction. Marvel's been going in this direction. It's out with the men and in with the strong, independent woman. So welcome, guys. I hope that your evening's going well. If we have time, actually, we'll probably have time. I'll just quickly reference it. I don't know if you guys heard about the Riot Games situation, but I've talked about it in like some videos, but Riot Games was facing a gender discrimination lawsuit. Back in 2018, it was actually put against them. But they settled. Riot Games settled their class action lawsuit for $100 million. That is a chunk of change. That is a chunk of change. No, I mean, it's no surprise, right? Because when a company has a class action lawsuit against them, they want to settle it as quickly as possible. But, yeah. Oh, Riot Games. Toxic old Riot. But hi, guys. Hope your evening's going well. We'll get started in a minute with some of the, topics. I watched the Harry Potter reunion thing and seems like it would have been a continuation of the original story, but 20 years later only to be disappointed by interviews at London studios. So I initially, yeah, I had no interest in the Harry Potter reunion thing, but I have seen some, like, articles and, like, some clips of it, and I see you saying they didn't even bother getting new interviews from Rowling, even citing on screen the interview footage from her was 2019. Well, there's a reason why they did that, because the people, so the other people behind the movies, like the actors, like Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, they all basically said they would not go to the reunion show if J.K. Rowling was there. They have been very vocal on social media, basically saying that J.K. Rowling should be canceled because her opinions are wrong. So they basically said that, you know, we're not going to go if she's going to be there. So they took any footage they had previously recorded and just shoved it in the special. Because, of course, you can't have a special about a franchise without the creator at least saying something Granted, as long as the creator's alive, and in this case she is. So, of course, they had to, on one hand, show J.K. Rowling in some capacity or mention her in some capacity, but on the other hand, they didn't want to lose all of these actors from showing up, or else what would be the point of watching it? To have, like, the small, minor actors in it? No. They weren't going to do that. So, I think it's funny the way they handled it. So they basically had put, like, this is filmed in 2019 at the top. And it's not just like it pops up for a second or two. It literally stays there the whole time that she's on screen. And it's because the actors are very stuck up. They think that their opinion is correct. And they basically have said in the past that J.K. Rowling should get canceled because they disagree with her opinions. And, yeah. So, of course, you have one side. Ultimately, I'm sure J.K. Rowling didn't give a singular fuck because ultimately it still means more money for her and more eyes on her content. Like, why should she care about going to this reunion with these stuck-up snobby bitches? But at the same time, it is her creation. And I personally think that she should have been there because she's a creator. But no, the actors just, they wouldn't go if she was gonna be there. So, of course, you end up with this situation of one side wants one thing, another side wants another thing. I could give an actual F less about the actors, to be honest. I mean, Harry Potter's cool, don't get me wrong. Like, there were some movies that were really, really good. And, like, the books were okay. I mean, they're young adult novels, so, like, it is what it is. But, like, I think that she should have been there. And I think it's really dumb that she wasn't, like, actually physically there. But, yeah, I mean, ultimately, yeah, Rowling, she's still making money. I mean, yeah, the actors didn't want her there, but they decided to not have her show up, which I think it's funny because it's not like it fucking matters to her if she gets to go and sit with them and talk to them. Why would she want to? They publicly tried to get her canceled. Like, why would she care about going? She's still making money no matter what. And if they didn't put her in at all, she probably would have fucking sued. So, yeah. 2019 footage erased after 2019, basically, because I feel like that's, I don't want to say when she ramped up her social media posts, but she became a little bit more vocal. As the years have gone on, she's become a little bit more vocal on her stances. And after, like, everyone tried to cancel her over the comments that have been seen as transphobic, which I don't know why, but she tried to clarify them recently as if that was gonna fucking matter to the cancel culture mob. She's just kind of seen that no matter what she says, people are gonna hate her, so she's just kind of started to just say whatever the fuck she wants and however she feels. Because, I mean, ultimately, her books are gonna sell, her movies are gonna sell, the content that she's created is gonna sell. Whenever a video game for Harry Potter comes out, she makes money. Whenever a book comes out, merchandise, it doesn't fucking matter. And I mean, hey, it's her creation. She deserves to make money from it. Agree or disagree with someone's stances. If they've created something and something sells regarding the franchise, they deserve money from it, obviously. Even if I don't like someone, like, it's not that hard to agree with. But of course, there are people that disagree with that take, which is fucking stupid. But yeah. It's fucking Warner Brothers, though. What do you expect? Warner Brothers is a goddamn mess of a company. A complete and utter mess. I get that, like, for it, they didn't want to have an event where they didn't have, like, a Daniel Radcliffe and Emma Watson and all these different actors. Because what would be the point? Like, you literally don't have the three main actors. Or I'll say like 5 or 6, because there were some others there. But, like, let's say they don't have the main actors. Of course they're gonna choose the main actors, and they're gonna tell J.K. Rowling, well, we're gonna just, like, throw in a couple of, like, interview scenes with you, but, like, you're not actually invited to the event. I doubt that she gives any fucks. I highly doubt it. I wouldn't. I'm just saying. If I was her, I'd be like, hell yeah, you go ahead and do it without me. I mean, you know, just put a couple of the interviews in and we're good to go. I'm still making money. But it's funny because throughout the past few months, they've tried to, like, market it as if she wasn't gonna be in it. Like, they said nothing about her being in it. Like, even on the trailers for it, like, her name was at the very bottom. It was, like, barely mentioned. It's like, it was like the Fantastic Beasts trailer. Like, they tried to keep it very quiet that she was gonna have anything to do with it. But, yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about J.K. Rowling when we get to the topic. But yeah, let's get started with the first topic, which is going to be The Matrix. I will probably talk about J.K. Rowling second to last. But let's start with Matrix. As you guys know, I have talked about Matrix in a couple of videos, a couple of different topics. Before the movie came out, I talked about the projections for the film being pretty decent. I talked about the early critic scores coming out and the critic scores looking okay for the film. They weren't like 95 to 100%, but they were okay. And then I talked about the movie's full release and the scores that it was getting from critics and audiences, because the audience scores weren't looking amazing. Unfortunately for everyone part of this project, it hasn't done so good for them, and it's not a big surprise why. But when it comes to Hollywood, if they think that they've got a franchise they can market and sell, they're gonna milk it for all it's worth. But apparently, they're not so sure if they can milk The Matrix any more than they did with Resurrections, because Resurrections came out. It hasn't done very well in the box office. And now we're hearing one of the producers of the film saying that they have no plans for more Matrix movies. Now, even when someone says there's no plans to do something, that doesn't mean that something can't happen in the future. They could say for right now they have no plans for more Matrix movies, and maybe in 5 years, they'll say, you know what, we're going to do another film. Because, maybe Resurrections wasn't great, but there's a way to always continue franchises. So, this is a Bounding Into Comics article. It says the Matrix Resurrections producer stated that there are currently no plans for any more Matrix films following the Matrix Resurrections' abysmal opening weekend box office. I personally wasn't someone who went to see it in the box office. I was considering going to see it in theaters a couple weeks back. I was thinking about it leading up to the release, and then I decided I wasn't going to because it was going on to HBO Max. I'd much prefer to watch it in my own home and not waste money on a probably terrible movie. And I'm definitely glad that I didn't waste money on a movie ticket to go and see it, because it's it wasn't great. It definitely wasn't. So, it says, scrolling down, according to the numbers, the film only grossed $12 million in its opening weekend, although since the film opened on a Wednesday, it grossed a total of $22.5 million in its 5-day opening. It says at the global box office, the film has raked in $44.2 million so far. That means worldwide its gross is $66.7 million. And this was an article from a couple of days ago. Let me see if the numbers has updated at all. Yeah, so the numbers has updated a little bit. Of course, the gross still isn't great. The revenue still isn't great, and I think that this is really funny. And I think that it's funny because, listen, I like The Matrix. Do not get me wrong, okay? I have liked The Matrix in the past. I thought... Oh no, I unplugged my headphones. I thought that The Matrix, previous movies, some were better than others. Hold on, guys. Some were better than others. Oh no. There we go. Some were better than others. I am a huge fan of the first Matrix film. I thought that it was really good. And in my opinion, the second one wasn't terrible. I know that there are some people that are iffy about the second one. I didn't think the second one was that bad, to be honest. It wasn't as good as the first, but it definitely wasn't as bad as the third. And Resurrections just... There was a lot of expectations that they'd do this grand old story, that they'd try their very best to make this movie for the fans, for people who've loved it in the past, and spoiler alert, it just wasn't that great. It's such a shame. Listen, I don't hate movies that have video game plots, but like, he's the best video game developer. He made this game called The Matrix. The other movies were games. It's fine. But was it what we wanted? No. I thought some of the acting was okay. I like Keanu Reeves. I like Carrie-Anne Moss. If it's not them, I do not really care about what is going on screen. I'm gonna keep it a stack. I felt like the pacing was a little iffy. Some of the scenes were just... It was boring. It wasn't the worst film I've ever seen in my entire life and existence on this planet. But it also wasn't good. So... It says the film reportedly had a budget, oh my god, of $190 million, meaning it would have needed to gross around $475 million to break even. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, listen. I'm sorry, but... that is a lot of fucking money. Like, I get that they needed to have a bigger budget for the movie, 100%. But I'm sorry, 190 million? I hope Keanu got like most of that, because that's a giant budget. I get it. Lots of special effects and big actors, even though literally only 2 of the actors mattered. And I don't see where $190 million went. I truly don't. If someone has a spreadsheet with some fucking information, I would love to see it, because I have no clue where almost $200 million went for this film. And this is... It seems crazy, but we're talking $200 million to make it. So yeah, they do want to at least double their money. So it's not really a surprise to see that they wanted almost $500 million out of it. Which, they haven't released any figures for HBO Max, and they most likely will not. But, I'm sorry, I don't know where $190 million went. I could see $100 million, for sure. I feel like most movies are like 100 to 200, so it's not like, oh no, it's not like the most we've ever seen. Oh no, what the fuck? Hello? What the fuck? What the fuck? Hello? Close the fuck down. Jesus Christ, why is this popping up? Jesus Christ, hold on guys, I need to reopen my webpage. What the fuck is popping up? Oh my god. Okay. Sure, webpage. If you say so. My god, hold on guys. Jesus Christ, you're giving me a fucking heart attack. The fuck? Okay, hold on. Bounding into comics. What the fuck? Oh no, I lost all my web pages. Oh no. But yeah, Matrix Resurrections has done terribly, guys. did you guys... You gotta give me, like, a minute. Did you guys see the glitch in the fucking Matrix? Guys, I'm getting fucking hacked. It's Nia. Did you guys see the Matrix? Did you like the Matrix? If you didn't like the Matrix, why didn't you like the Matrix? That was fun. Okay, we're back. That was really, really great, guys. That was real peachy keen. I was real great. Okay, I can open my display back up. Okay, take number 2. Take number 2. You going to do that to me again? Hopefully not. We'll see. I've had some problems with bounding into comics lately. I have, though, actually. I've had a couple problems with bounding into comics. Not loading. Weird. Oh, now YouTube is saying something's wrong. I don't fucking know. Jesus Christ. I'm having... I think I'm having a heart attack. Jesus Christ. Okay, guys. Matrix discussion is done. I'm not reopening the webpage. I hope you guys enjoyed my thoughts on Matrix. It was very, very bad. Matrix was not good. There was a glitch in the Matrix. But yes, $200 million. It is a lot of money. Don't get me wrong. It is a lot of money, and I don't see where the money went in the movie. I saw out of Matrix Resurrections maybe like $100 million worth of special effects, actors. I don't see $200 million. I really don't. But okay, guys. I got Matrixed. I did, guys. The Matrix is attacking you. Plot twist, Vera just entered the Matrix. Actually, though, that's how the next Matrix movie is gonna start. That's how it's gonna start. Very fun. Okay. On to the next topic in just a minute. Maybe starting to use archives on bounding into comics. We'll see. We'll move into Boba Fett next. Matrix needs to take a fucking chill pill. Actually, though. I saw it. It was bad. Yeah. Again, I feel like the plot was just... It was just... I wasn't expecting perfection, right? But I was expecting a decent story, good choreography, cinematography. I wasn't expecting perfection. But I felt like, I'm gonna be honest, guys, I felt like there was no way that this movie could be worse than 3. Do you guys think Matrix 3 is worse, or do you think that Resurrections is worse? Because I'm gonna be honest. Very bad. Both. Both are not so good. That is for fuck's sake, sure. Boba Fett looks like, why am I here? Honestly, I also have that question. Why the fuck did they greenlight this series? Because they thought people would click on it because it's Boba Fett? Well, it's not good. I mean, I know there's 1 episode out. Don't get me wrong. I'm willing to give it a chance. Why can't those shitty fucking pop-ups happen when I'm watching garbage like fucking Boba Fett? I swear, if another one pops up on this article, that's it, bounding into comics. Archives from now on. This one is worse. 4 is worse. I liked 3 for the large part. I feel like most people do not like 3. I personally, for me, it's literally got to be 1, 2. 1 is the best. 2 is second best. I'd say 3. I don't know. I'd say that they were both were very bad. 3 and 4. Resurrections is worse than Matrix 3, though they're definitely in close proximity. Here's another question I have for you guys. how woke did you think Matrix Resurrections was? Because I feel like I definitely saw woke moments throughout it. But I also felt like a lot of people have said we can get past some of the woker tones in it. But I feel like with Resurrections, people either are kind of loving it or kind of hating it. So that's why I figured I'd ask. But we'll move into Boba Fett in just a second because I'm gonna be honest, I'm disappointed. My disappointment is real and my day has been ruined. What can I say? What will the next cash grab movie be? I don't know. Side note, guys, did you hear about Morbius? It got delayed for a, not first, second, third, fourth, or fifth time. Not even a sixth time. Morbius got delayed a seventh goddamn time. Let it fucking die. Let it die. Release it or let it be. Just bury it before it even releases. We don't need it that bad. 7 times. Holy shit. What do they think this is? They're releasing fucking Avatar 2 in theaters in the middle of COVID? No! If people want to see it, they're gonna go see it. If people don't want to see it, they're not gonna go see it. We're not releasing goddamn Frozen 3 here. Fucking Avatar 2. You're releasing a vampire movie. You're releasing Demon. Okay? You're releasing something with Jared fucking Leto. Okay? It's not that good. I can already tell. I can feel it in my bones. Jared Leto he's not the actor. Okay? Not a Jared Leto fan. You're done. I can't do it. After the Joker shit, I can't. And then, like, House of Gucci came out, awful in that. I don't think I've ever seen him in anything that was good. No, Don't Let It Die, I'm excited for it. Well, we'll have to see if it's good, because it must be the best fucking movie ever created if it's been delayed 7 times because they're so worried about it. 7 times! Nothing deserves that many delays. Nothing. We'll see, though. Alright, guys, we're moving on to Book of Boba Fett now. As you guys know, I love Star Wars. But I also love Star Wars for a specific reason. And the reason why I like Star Wars is because it's epic. It's cool. You've got super bad guys, super good guys. Everyone's always fighting. And I'm gonna be honest. Star Wars just hasn't been it over the past few years. I love Star Wars. And listen, Mandalorian Season 1 and 2, they were not terrible. But they were not amazing either. The sequel trilogy, we're not talking about that. You guys know my thoughts on that. There are projects that I think could be good, like Ahsoka. I like the character. The Obi-Wan show. It could be really good. Lots of good characters. You have the returning of actors and probably new characters that are going to be really important to the story. And one character I have liked for a long time is Boba Fett. I like Boba Fett because he's a Mandalorian. He gives absolutely no fucks. But now, guys, it's 2022. And we need a more sensitive man behind the mask, okay? We need a nicer guy, okay? Someone who cares about slaves, someone who wants to right the wrongs of the past leaders. And now we have the Book of Boba Fett. And they tried to capture our attention with the Book of Boba Fett, because it's the original actor and it's Boba Fett and there's lots of cool things going on. They even got fucking Fa Mulan up in this shit. Okay? The good Mulan, by the way. Not the shitty remake version. They even got good fucking Mulan. Okay? But of course, they had to make Boba Fett a little snowflake. A nice little snowflake that'll melt under pressure. And then we got the Book of Boba Fett. There's only one episode out. And I'm going to keep giving it a try. One episode does not shape a whole show. One episode of something doesn't mean the rest of the series is going to be trash, right? But we're talking about our dearly beloved Lucasfilms. So I'm guessing the rest of it's going to be even worse than the first episode, and the first episode was pretty bad. But there's a rumor going around right now that the Book of Boba Fett ratings are not doing as well in streaming as Walt Disney Company would like. Absolutely not surprising. When it comes to new shows, usually the first couple episodes are really, really good, especially at the premiere of a new series. People want to see what it's about. People want to see kind of the atmosphere it has, the story they're going to tell, the direction they're going in. One thing leads to another. Your ratings either skyrocket or your ratings tank. And apparently, according to rumors, the first episode is not doing as good as they were hoping. It says a new rumor claims that the latest Star Wars series on Disney Plus is not hitting the viewership numbers that Disney expected it to do. Again, they thought that everyone would instantly watch this because, oh, it's the original actor, it's Boba Fett, it's... You might think that you're gonna see appearances of all these beloved characters, even though you're not going to, of course. But it says this rumor comes from the scooper at WDW Pro at That Park Place, who claims his sources informed him that the Book of Boba Fett was not doing well in streaming numbers as the Walt Disney Company would like. Estimated viewership has not been released by data analytics tracking firms such as Samba TV or Nielsen yet, and it's unlikely Disney will divulge any data as they have yet to do so in any transparent way yet for their other shows on the streaming platform. It does say, in fact, Nielsen hasn't provided updated data since the week ending on December 5th, when Netflix's Lost in Space topped their charts with 1.2 billion minutes viewed. And of course, CoComelon followed it in second place with 786 million minutes viewed. So this is a problem when it comes to rumors. Of course, take every rumor, every speculation with a grain of salt. Of course, maybe this isn't true. Maybe the show's doing fantastic and it's everything they hoped in their hearts dreamed and desired and more, but I fucking doubt it. It's always hard to talk about rumors like this just because we don't have information, because Disney isn't going to release the numbers. Usually they only release small bits and pieces of numbers if they think that something's doing absolutely fantastic, if they want to basically throw it in our faces that, yeah, look at this new series, it's doing great. Otherwise, they don't tell us numbers because they don't want to admit that they can create bad content as well. But according to this scooper, the show's not doing so great. It says those numbers don't necessarily match up with Netflix's self-published data, which detailed that Lost in Space Season 3 had 47.38 million hours viewed for that week. True Story Limited Series was second on Netflix, and the first season of Lost in Space was fourth on the chart. If you add Lost in Space Season 3 and Season 1's hours viewed together, that gives you a total of 68.3 million hours viewed, and that doesn't include viewership for Lost in Space Season 2. So, of course, it's kind of going into some of the numbers of these other shows, but it says, nevertheless, there is still value to be found in Nielsen's data as it looked specifically at television viewers in the United States, and the list does appear to loosely match Netflix's top viewed shows and movies in the United States. I'm also bringing up the Rotten Tomatoes page. Hold on. It says it does show that the tracking viewership numbers is tricky, something WDW Pro takes into account when he admits it's nearly impossible to get data out of Disney about Disney Plus's viewership numbers. And if we look at the Rotten Tomatoes page, now, I don't like to go by Rotten Tomatoes page ratings, when shows are brand new, when a whole season of a show isn't out, because obviously numbers will fluctuate, numbers will change. But so far, the reception for the first episode, it's okay. It's sitting at an 83% critic score, which is, it's not bad. I'm not sitting here saying it's the worst ever. 83% though, it could be higher, but 83% is pretty good. But then it drops 10% going into the audience score. It's sitting at a 73%. Now, like I said, guys, I'm going to watch the full series. I'm going to, or at least watch most of it. If I don't get to finish the series, I'll let you guys know, but my intentions are to finish the whole show. But I felt the first episode, in my opinion, it was just, it was slow. I get that they have a lot to explain, a lot that went on that they have to talk about. They have to show, you know, the backstory of the character and kind of what happened that we haven't seen. And they also have to establish this kind of new era of the character and the alliances he's forming, the roles that he's taking on. But judging by that one episode, if I was a normal consumer, I'd be like, I'll give it one more chance. Like, I'll watch one more episode to see if it gets any better. I don't know, guys. I'm feeling just really iffy with the Book of Boba Fett. I'm gonna give it a chance, and I'm gonna watch the other episodes as they release. I hate shows not just all releasing at once. But we'll see how it goes. Maybe it'll get better. Maybe it'll get worse. I have a hunch that it's not gonna get much better. Because usually, when these Disney shows start, like, you can tell how a show's gonna turn out. Like, season 1 of The Mandalorian, it was pretty good, and you could tell the rest of the season was probably gonna be pretty good, too. That happened. Season 2, same thing. Hawkeye, well, we know how that goes. So, until more episodes are out, I don't have much else to say about Boba Fett, because I've given you guys kind of my rundown and my thoughts on the first episode. Audience scores right now aren't perfect, but they may go up, they may go down. Only time will tell. So that's all that I really had to talk about with Boba Fett. But apparently, according to rumors, the show and the viewership isn't going as well as Disney was hoping. Next, we're going to talk about The Witcher. Spoiler alert, guys. I am going to be giving you guys my thoughts on the show and the direction they decided to go in, some of the avenues they decided to take, some of the changes they decided to make, and yeah, talk about this article. I'm not going to read the whole article, but I do want to touch upon some of the points that it does make, because I think some of them are very valid. But yeah. It's always very hard to trust Rotten Tomatoes. It definitely is, especially when a whole show isn't out yet, because people get upset, they think it's not going to turn out good, they leave it a negative rating, and then they don't go and they don't change the ratings even if they end up liking a product. But yeah. The last episode of a Disney streaming show I enjoyed was episode 8 of WandaVision. Yeah, I thought that WandaVision was pretty decent. I liked a lot of the direction they had with it up until, like, the last episode, primarily because I wanted Doctor Strange to show up, and I felt like the show was missing a big name like Strange. Again, I thought that it was pretty good up until then. But yeah, I feel like all the content's been really, really mediocre. I mean, it's not just Disney, though. Woke culture just can't stand a true villain. They'll probably rewrite it. Actually, true, though. Tamura Morrison is actually an awesome actor. He is a good actor, don't get me wrong. they're taking the character in a new direction, a direction I personally don't really have any interest in. We'll have to see as the show progresses if it gets any better, if it gets any worse, but we'll see. Let me scroll up. I watch anime. Yeah, I'd recommend anime for sure. For sure, anime is better than any of the Disney garbage that's coming out. Disney content is very few and far between. Sometimes it can be good, but most of the time it's really bad. No, Mephisto. Aw. Didn't you see? Mephisto was in it. He was secretly a potted plant. The Book of Boba Fett? Actually true, though. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what they decide to do. Maybe it won't be woke after all. Only time will tell. Only time will tell, guys. I'm good with the original trilogy when Han shot first. Woke started in Star Wars when they changed that. True. Han did shoot first, though. 100%. Fa Mulan, I can't. It's Mulan's voice actress. It is. All facts. It's true. That's the same actress who voiced Mulan in 98? 7? I don't know. In the animated. Apart from One Piece, I watch mostly 2008 anime and backwards. Fair enough. Alright, you guys. Time to move on to the next topic. Spoiler alert, I am going to be giving my general thoughts on The Witcher Season 2. Of course, you guys probably already know my thoughts on Season 1. I thought the first season of The Witcher was pretty good. I did notice problems with it, things that I wasn't a huge fan of, things that I thought could be different, but ultimately, I thought that the first season was pretty good. It got me excited for Season 2. And with Season 2, I have some problems. Because if I wasn't someone who's read the books, played the games, if I didn't know the source material, I would say The Witcher Season 2 is probably pretty good. And I liked a lot about The Witcher Season 2, but it wasn't perfect, and I have some problems with it. So, I'm gonna briefly kind of touch on this article. It's by Forbes. It says the 5 biggest problems with Season 2 of The Witcher, and I don't agree with all of the 5 points, but I do want to talk about some of them. So, it says The Witcher's second season on Netflix was in many ways a big setup from Season 1. The visuals, both in terms of costumes and CGI, were a huge improvement. The sweeping shots of various strongholds, citadels, and cities made for rich world building and terrific visual storytelling, and clearly the budget was more ambitious. It says, though, of course, Geralt and Triss got better hairdos, Ciri got a leg up in both the hair and eyebrow department as well. But in many ways, Season 2 was a big step down in overall storytelling quality from Season 1. Now, I did have some problems with Season 1. I wasn't a huge fan of some of the casting, like with Triss. I thought that Triss's actress, they didn't try to make her seem like Triss at all. Obviously, we didn't see that much of her in Season 1. I wasn't a huge fan, though. They did change her in Season 2. They actually made her a ginger. They made her outfits look a little bit more on point. I was really, really impressed. Some of the wigs got a little bit better. Geralt's was a little bit better. Some of the outfits were better. Obviously, the Nilfgaardian ballsack armor from Season 1 was a fucking disaster, and the new Nilfgaardian armor looks 100,000 times better. But when you have small changes, it makes it seem like they're really listening to people. And they did listen to a lot of people and our feedback, which is great, because in Season 1, again, there were problems with outfits and designs and armor. Ooh, there was some major problems with season 1. And going into season 2, they did change a lot that people asked, like the CGI. The CGI in season 1 was abysmal. I'm just gonna be honest. The CGI in season 1 just wasn't it. It was not good. But season 2 was a lot better. They made the monsters look super cool. They made the armor look better. They made everything just seem more thought over, I guess is the best way to put it. But season 2 did have some problems. And I want to read some of this article and kind of point out their points, a couple of them. Because I agree with some of them. I feel like some of them definitely are legitimate complaints and legitimate concerns. Witcher was set to fail from the get-go due to bad casting. I disagree. I disagree because I think that Henry Cavill is a fantastic actor, and I think that he did a fantastic job as Geralt. I thought that Freya Allan has done a fantastic job as Ciri, and I think that Anya Carlotta has done a fantastic job as Yennefer. I think that the main cast has done pretty freaking well, and I feel like while some of the other casting was a little bit off, like Triss, Vesemir isn't terrible. Maybe not the best, but that's okay. I feel like the casting is actually pretty decent. But the first point is, it says the whole thing felt rushed and contrived. This is an issue that I have with shows in general. Because, as you guys know, most shows are 8 episodes. And when you have an 8-episode show, things are going to be rushed. Things are going to feel really rushed and very forced at times because they have to get on with the story. And that is something that is an overarching theme with me. I'm sure you guys have heard it from me 1,000 times. But shows need more than 8 episodes. 8 episodes do not cut it, especially for things like The Witcher. Throughout season 2, there was like an episode where Yennefer ends up basically teleporting off with Ciri, and they have to journey to Sintra. Because Ciri is under the belief that Geralt has been taken prisoner. And Yennefer is kind of she gives her like 2 or 3 different tips as to how to control her chaos, basically. And then in one episode, that happens, and at the end of the episode, you are already in Sintra. And my giant problem with that is, in the books and in the games, Ciri and Yen have a very close bond because they're basically the outcasts. They're people that others do not trust because they're very powerful women. They're sorceresses. And that is something that they have always bonded a lot on. And in that episode, it starts and it finishes in the same episode. And I felt like that would have been a very, very good time for them to flesh out kind of that relationship. So at the end, when they get there, Yennefer's like, this is wrong. Not because I'm fucking this guy that she views as her father figure, but it's wrong because she's child that I can help, that maybe I can yoink the power from later. But it happens very quickly. And again, when you have 8 episodes, things are gonna have to be rushed. Ciri's journey throughout the episode is very rushed. She goes from being this stuck-up little brat in season 1 and kind of at the beginning of season 2, not as much, to becoming this very powerful, trained fighter that is starting to learn her magic and kind of get a grasp on it by the end. And while that's great and dandy, obviously it felt rushed. 8 episodes, she has a complete character change, and unfortunately, it didn't come across as well as it could have if they took the time. I personally think that if they want to compete with a Game of Thrones, even though Game of Thrones isn't on anymore. Of course, these companies still want the next Game of Thrones, and they want to compete against Amazon and Lord of the Rings. I think that they need to make shows like this, like 15 episodes to 20 episodes. I don't think 8 episodes really cuts it. Point number 2 that they make is uneven writing and dialogue throughout. And I can agree with this. As it says, some of the dialogue is terrific, but it often develops into dumps about destiny and chaos and other abstract ideas. It says, then there are moments that are truly baffling. At one point, another Witcher, Lambert, gets upset with Geralt over the death of their brother-in-arms. Lambert is angry with both Geralt and Ciri and acts as though Geralt's decision to bring Ciri to Kaer Morhen led directly to his death. Makes no sense. So, as the author of this article is saying, his opinion is that the writing and the dialogue, it's not even, it's not good, it has its ups and it has its downs. And again, I think a huge problem is, unfortunately, they have to pace things a specific way. If they want to start on episode 1 at point A and they end at point B by the end of the season, they have to, unfortunately, cut out details, make dialogue, get kind of straight to the point, and it ends up feeling very rushed, uneven. There are points where things are going really well, the pacing's really good, like the relationship with characters like Geralt and Ciri are going well, and then the next scene it's completely different. You're missing some of that depth, and some of the dialogue turns out just being really, really patchy. The next point that I wanted to read was monsters, witchers, and elves. And this is something that I do really agree with, because they have a lot of potential with The Witcher to do so many cool, different things. And I felt as though they really didn't use the source material for all that it's worth. So it says, aside from the first monster, I felt let down by the monsters this season as well. I don't think the monsters this season were bad, but it says most of them were very samey and spawned from the monoliths. Instead of delving into Slavic lore and giving each monster a fascinating and sometimes sympathetic backstory, a lot of these beasties were just monsters. The Lycian was very cool and plucked directly from the books and games, but it was killed in an instant by a brand new monster that we learned later came from another sphere. In fact, the only really terrific use of monsters in Season 2 was in the very first episode. This is something that I was disappointed with. So, obviously, okay, Ciri is around Geralt. And Geralt is the monster killer. He's a witcher. So you would think, as they're learning about all these threats and these potential threats, even if they don't even see the monsters, he'd be like explaining things to her, trying to help her learn their strengths, their weaknesses, because he ultimately is trying to get her strong enough to protect herself. She wants to undertake that. She wants to be able to fight, and he gives in to her wishes. So you'd think that you'd see more of that depth, him like getting like books and scrolls for her, explaining the monsters. I thought that was really, really, really underwhelming, because they could have done so many cool things, different ways to explain the monsters, ways to defeat them, showing it. And like, as it says, the Lycian was cool, and it was in the books and games. It was gone in an instant. You saw it for a very short amount of time, a couple of seconds, really, in the one scene that it was actually in. It says in the Season 2 premiere, Geralt and Ciri make their way to the manor house, of course, who he has been cursed by a priestess and is now half man, half boar. In his house is a deadly creature, and she's a vampire who's fallen in love with him, and he lets her feed on him because he loves her back. That is, as it says, kind of classic Witcher. It's cool because throughout the episode, You had to kind of piece the puzzle together. You could tell pretty quickly that clearly there was a monster there. You didn't know what it was going to be, what it was going to turn out like. But you saw kind of the hunting of the monster. You got the backstory of the monster. And I felt like that first episode was really well done. And then as the show's going on, it just kind of fell flat with the monsters. Also, it points out the elves. It says monsters aren't the only element lacking in season 2. I have to question the show's choices around the elves, and elves in the Netflix's version of The Witcher are just humans with pointy ears. There's virtually nothing else to distinguish them. It says, you know, they're lame, in his opinion. They don't give a lot of backstory. They don't show cool scenes with them, maybe previous battles they've fought, hardships they've gone through. No, they didn't show any of that. They just said, oh, here's the elves. Have fun. They're a big part of this season. And again, I thought that they could have done better. I also think this right here is a very, very big problem. In the last episode of the season 2, you find out the fate of Ciri's father. And that is something that in the books wasn't done until the very end of the books. But they decided to just shove it in to season 2 because let's be honest, they kind of made the show different than the books and the games, but they made it very heavily focused on Ciri. And of course, a giant part of Ciri's story is that she's very upset about her parents. That's a huge problem for her, and they decided to reveal the fate of her father pretty quickly on. And I personally don't think that should have happened yet. Obviously, in the books, that doesn't happen until many, many books in. It doesn't happen far into the story, very end of the story. But they decided to do it at the end of season 2, and it just, the pacing is very off. Again, they're clearly making changes from the source material. I mean, they even did with Geralt, because, like, in season 2, technically, if we're following the source material, he would still have a big role, don't get me wrong, but his attitude is a little bit different, and they decided to give him a little bit more depth in the show, which I think is good. That's a positive change, but they're completely changing up motivations of characters, they're changing up the pacing, and things like revealing the fate of her father, who's the Emperor. And ultimately, I just felt like the show itself, if you don't know the source material, it's good. And even though I know the source material, I still enjoyed it. I didn't sit there going, oh no, they changed this, they changed that. It's terrible, it's awful. We'll never recover from this. I thought that the content that's there is good. Again, I like the main cast. I think the main cast really has a lot of chemistry together. I thought the CGI was 100 times better. Some of the armor was so much better. The Nilfgaardian armor was so much better. I felt like there were a lot of positive changes from season 1, but I did feel like season 2 had some issues itself. So that's all that I really had to talk about with The Witcher, you guys. Overall, I'm still looking forward to seeing what they're gonna do with the next seasons, how long it's gonna go, because clearly they're changing up the pacing. So who knows how many seasons they plan to do? Because originally people were thinking maybe like 6 seasons, 7 seasons, because they're trying to compete with all these other fantasy shows. So ultimately, time will tell. But again, I thought that season 2 was good. There were a lot of very enjoyable moments and a lot of accurate moments, but they did make some changes like character motivation, some of the stories like with Ciri's father and kind of the fate of characters that shouldn't have happened for a very long time in the show. But that's all that I really had to talk about with The Witcher season 2. Next, we'll move on to J.K. Rowling. Yeah, in just a moment. Yennefer is poorly casted in the show for her appearance, but the actress's performance is legitimately great. I was skeptical at first. Whenever you see actors and actresses who haven't been in a lot, I personally can sometimes feel very doubtful, like, oh, they're taking on this massive role for this really important character. Can they do it? And sometimes, unfortunately, they can't. Sometimes they can. And I personally really like the actress they chose for Yennefer. I feel like she definitely captures the depth of the character, because Yennefer, I'm sure other actresses could play her, but she is a more complex character. I also really like Henry Cavill as Geralt, and I really like Freya Allan as Ciri. I, hot take, personally liked the bleach brows in season 1. They gave her just like very generic colored in eyebrows in season 2 because they wanted to make her, I don't know, look prettier, I guess. I really liked the bleach brows in season 1. I thought that they looked pretty fucking cool. But they changed that because they needed to use more makeup products on set, so they had to give her darker eyebrows so that they could fill them in with more pencils, and she could probably get more brand deals. Not a fan. But the rest of how they looked was pretty good. And again, I thought that they did a pretty good job with like the minor changes with the armor and like Triss's look and how they actually made her a ginger. Holy shit, I couldn't believe it. Yeah, the casting in terms of performances are spot on in The Witcher. Yeah, like I think that most of the characters are cast pretty well. I really do feel that way. But of course, there's a couple problems that I have. How dare the Guardian try to suppress a successful woman from being Person of the Year? I know. How could they? Oh, it's not that surprising to see, though. Oh, if you don't have the right opinions, you're out of here. That's how it goes. I prefer the bleached brows, but then again, I know nothing of her original design. Yeah, I think the bleached brows, guys, I thought they looked pretty fucking cool. But no, we can't have that. We can't have that, guys. It's like in Game of Thrones, how they didn't give Daenerys purple eyes like she should have, the violet eyes, because the actress had to wear contacts, and that would be really straining. Okay, let's just throw away the way a character looks because, oh no, the actress can't wear contacts for the hour she has to work a day. The new Nilfgaardian armor looks so fucking cool. I agree. I think the new Nilfgaardian armor is some of the coolest armor in the show. I do have to say, though, Geralt's armor is pretty fucking cool, too. But the Nilfgaardian armor looks really, really killer. I think that they did a fantastic job with the redesign. Jesus Christ, why was that so loud?
Oren X donated $155.
Why was that so loud?
No, you can't say no message.
Oh,
Question mark. Got him.
Oh no. Thank you, Oron, for the $155 donation. Thank you so much. Jesus Christ. Hold on. I'm gonna turn that shit down. Who the fuck said that volume could be that high? I haven't changed volume in weeks. Jesus. Alright, I turned it down. It was at 70. I turned that shit to 60. So yeah, I'm saving that like 3 times over to make sure it actually works, because that was loud. Thank you for the donation. Much appreciated. Daenerys was also 14 when the story starts. They aged her up in the show for obvious reasons. Yeah, the thing is that, yeah, they did age her up. And I get why, because they're not going to cast a 14-year-old. Especially with some of the scenes they had to do. I get it. I mean, it's years old at this point. But I felt like even something like having an actress wear colored eye contacts. I think it's fucking dumb to say, oh, we didn't want to bother her. It's her job. She's getting paid millions of dollars. Who cares if she has to wear eye contacts for a little bit every day? It's not even every day. You're in the Matrix, that's why your volume went up? I don't know why that volume went up, but holy mother of pearl, that shit was loud. Okay, guys. It didn't stop Netflix with cuties. We're moving in to another article about J.K. Rowling. You guys know J.K. Rowling is someone who social media hates. There are many people who, on one hand, say believe all women, and then on another hand say cancel women that we don't like, whose opinions do not align with ours. And you guys know J.K. Rowling has been the talk of the town for years now. Okay, whenever people are getting antsy and want to cancel someone, they just go, what has J.K. Rowling done lately? I'm sure we can find something. And, unfortunately, it's happening again. Because The Guardian put up a Person of the Year poll, and they deleted it after J.K. Rowling was winning. She was in the lead, and they deleted it because she doesn't have the opinions that they like, so they deleted it. It says, an online poll conducted by the staunchly left Guardian newspaper seeking nominations for Person of the Year has been turned off, sparking speculation it was shut down when author J.K. Rowling took the lead. Not surprising to hear, she doesn't have the correct political opinions, therefore, we have to delete the poll. It says, as of Wednesday, it was no longer live, launching conjecture from a number of sources that the fact author J.K. Rowling was such a dominating choice the outlet had no option left other than to stop accepting nominations. Now, they never came out and said, we removed this poll because, of course, she was winning, because she was getting the most nominations. Of course, they're not going to say that, because then they know more people are going to talk about it. So they just quietly decided to delete it, as if everything was going to be fine. No one was going to notice. But of course, people have noticed. It says that she was voted Guardian's Person of the Year. So the voting hadn't ended. They removed it before, I believe, the voting could end. But she was clearly winning, and she clearly was going to win. But people are saying things on social media, of course, like Guardian deactivated the poll on Person of the Year 2021 because J.K. Rowling was in the lead. Absolutely pathetic. I agree with this. It was you closing your poll for Person of the Year because all the votes were for J.K. Rowling. Can I just say congratulations to J.K. Rowling on winning at Guardian Person of the Year 2021. Hashtag I stand with J.K. Rowling. Now, of course, people have called her transphobic for her thoughts on women's rights. People have tried to cancel her simply because she liked Johnny Depp, and she has stood with Johnny Depp over the years and didn't think that he should have gotten canceled. So, unfortunately, she's been basically cast out of her own franchise. As I had mentioned earlier, with the new 20th anniversary Harry Potter special, she was not invited to it. They ended up showing a couple of interviews that she had done a couple years ago, supposedly. They put at the top was recorded in 2019. They tried to basically trick people into thinking that she wasn't going to be in it, and she was in it, even though she wasn't in it that much. People have gotten... It's to the point where she literally isn't being highlighted in the trailers for the new movie at all, because it used to say J.K. Rowling invites you into the wizarding world, but now it says Warner Brothers invites you into the wizarding world, all because she doesn't have an opinion that aligns with the people at Warner Brothers, with some actors, with cancel culture vultures, and that's ultimately what happens. Now, with J.K. Rowling, a part of me does say yes. Ultimately, she did create Harry Potter, and she should not be kicked out of her own franchise. She should still get the compensation because she did create it. But she, as you guys know, was also someone that tried to pander to these specific groups of people and tried to make everyone love her and respect her and care about her. And it backfired on her completely. I mean, now the very people that she was pandering to have canceled her and have continued to cancel her. And I don't think that that's going to stop anytime soon. I truly do not think that she's just magically going to be forgiven by these audiences of people. She has made statements on social media over the years that have gotten her thrown into the fire. And people are constantly over-scrutinizing her words, looking for ways to attack her, to hopefully cancel her yet again. And she doesn't really care. She goes on social media, she says what she feels, and she just kind of leaves it at that. She has enough money to be able to do that. Not everyone does, but she does, and she acts like it. I mean, she says what she wants to say, and she doesn't really care if people don't like her opinion, which is good on one hand, because at least she's saying how she truly feels. But on another hand, she was also one of the people that pandered to the very individuals that are now trying to cancel her. And, you know, is it surprising to see The Guardian delete this post in the poll because she was winning? No. They didn't put her on the poll. It was a poll where you could write, you know, who you basically thought deserved it, and she just happened to get a lot of nominations. And then after they saw that, they decided to close off the poll and cancel her. And yeah, you know, ultimately it's the way it goes. People are saying things like, congratulations to J.K. Rowling for winning the Guardian Person of the Year, and congratulations to the Guardian for being the spineless melts that they are for not publishing it. Absolutely shameful. People are saying things like, congratulations from us 30 women on the winning of the Guardian's Person of the Year. We love you. Will it be formally announced? Which is absolutely funny, because of course it's not going to be formally announced. These people are spineless, and they want to act like they never put up the poll because it didn't get the results they were expecting. They thought the few people that they had nominated were going to win, and it ended up completely backfiring on them. But that's all that I really had to discuss with that topic, guys. It's a pretty quick topic, but I still wanted to discuss it quickly. I think that this is absolutely fucking hilarious that they just completely deactivated it because it ended up blowing up in their faces. So yeah, next we're going to move on to the DCEU. The DCEU Reboot. Which I wish I could say I was surprised by, but I'm not surprised by at all. I did talk about this once in a video, but I did want to talk about it again because, of course, a lot of people are really upset by it, rightfully so. I get it. I understand why. I'm personally someone who's not very happy with it. Out of all the characters they could use, Jesus Christ, it's still so loud! Why? Why are you still so loud?
Rover donated $100.
It
What
wasn't.
language does the postman use when delivering mail to Hogwarts?
Oh no.
Parcel tongue.
Oh no. What a bad joke, but still a funny one. Thank you, Rover, for the $100 donation. Much appreciated. Thank you, thank you. I like Harry Potter, guys. Like, I'm not the biggest fan. Like, I'm not a super fan. I don't know what fucking house I'd be in Harry Potter, right? But, like, Harry Potter's neat. It's okay. It's cool. Watched all the movies. Hogwarts house poll. I mean, not a poll. Test went. But, yeah. That's how it goes. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Maybe Guardian will put up another Person of the Year poll. And get annihilated on that one too. DCEU, guys. DC Comics stands for Dead Company. Honestly, yeah. That joke sucks. It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. Maybe it's because I haven't heard it before. The DCEU, but she has E. So it'd be DCEU. There is a Ravenclaw. I don't know what the fuck I'd be. I don't know. Harry Potter house quiz? How long is it? I'm not sitting here for like fucking 20 minutes taking some dumbass test. I'll pick the one that has the coolest logo. This is so fucking stupid. This test, it has 30 fucking multiple choice answers. Do I have to do the Harry Potter house quiz, guys? I don't think I have the will to do that. I don't know. Maybe after this. Okay, guys. Let's talk about the DCEU. Now, as a woman, guys, clearly I love the strong, independent women. Rey Skywalker, my favorite. Batwoman, favorite. I can't. I'm sorry. I like strong female characters in movies, TV shows, entertainment in general, but unfortunately, we see it overdone most of the time, and we see male characters be replaced with female characters. And I have no problem seeing male characters and female characters on screen together, being equals, kicking ass together. But most of the time that doesn't happen now. It's women or a movie doesn't happen. And the DCEU, there's been rumors about the DCEU for months now, almost a year now. And the rumors are circulating again. And apparently, according to the rumors, the reboot for the DCEU will drop Batman and Superman and replace them with their female counterparts. So there apparently is going to be quite a shift. Maybe I'll take the test after we finish this. And Batgirl is replacing Batman, and Supergirl is replacing Superman. Because they don't want to work with Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill anymore. They basically want to erase the movies that they were in. But it says major rumors have surfaced in regards to a DCEU reboot that will drop a Batman and Superman in favor of a female DC trinity involving Supergirl, Batgirl, and Wonder Woman, with Black Canary also involved. Now listen. There have been versions of Supergirl that were really fucking cool. There have been versions of Batgirl that have been super fucking cool. I am not saying that these characters have always been bad, but we do know that it seems like these new versions are going to be wokeified versions of Supergirl and Batgirl. It seems like they very specifically wanted to make these versions of the characters to replace their male counterparts, which is a problem. If we were talking about a version where there's Supergirl, Superman, and then Batgirl and Batman, that would probably be really cool. But instead of having a male and female counterpart work together, they're deciding, supposedly, according to the rumor, that they are going to replace the men with women. It says the rumors surround the upcoming movie starring Ezra Miller with The Flash, where it is claimed that the flick will reboot the DCEU and possibly erase the Snyderverse films, where a new Justice League team will be formed from the rebooted DCEU Rebirth. Guys, I do not like Ezra Miller. I really don't. But I would deal with Ezra Miller if I could see Ben Affleck as Batman and Henry Cavill as Superman. But it's 2022 now, and apparently that just can't happen. It says, a rumor claims The Flash will erase every movie Zack Snyder has done, which includes Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, and the Snyder Cut of Justice League, that it will be erased from continuity and be as if it never happened, and that they are moving away from Ben Affleck as Batman and Henry Cavill as Superman. This is really, really disappointing to me. Ezra Miller actually responded to the rumor that the Snyderverse was getting erased, but it is the most bullshit garbage quote I think I've ever read. Because he said, basically, well, guys, it'll exist at least in our hearts, even if it's not canon. He said no power or force in any known megaverse would or could ever erase Zack Snyder's works. You can take that quote, take that to the bank, take that to the press, to the schools, to the military, to the other pillar of capitalism. I'm forgetting because of that thing where you try and think of a group of things, you always forget one of them. It's like this bullshit quote of like, in our hearts, it'll always exist, and in our hearts, the Snyderverse will always be canon. But he's literally not saying that they aren't erasing it. It's one of those like, oh, he made a statement, so clearly they wouldn't disrespect Ezra Miller. Clearly, Ezra Miller knows the 411 and what's going on. Clearly, Ezra Miller doesn't know fucking shit. Okay? Because he's not saying they're not erasing it. He's not confirming one way or another. He's basically just saying, in our hearts, you know, how could they make us forget about the movies? It says, I did show this in my video, but My Time to Shine had said I don't usually tweet about DC stuff, but I have a friend who's seen The Flash, and the movie will erase every movie Snyder has done. Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, and Justice League never happened now. Erased from continuity. Affleck and Cavill are both gone. This is not surprising to hear. It was so fucking difficult to get the Snyder Cut. It was so difficult. It took so long for people to actually get them to make it. And I feel like now they're just kind of mad that they had to do it. They're kind of salty that it had to happen. And I like the movies. I like the DCEU, the way that it is. Some, you know, obviously some movies were better than others. Like, I love the Snyder Cut. I thought that shit was really, really good. But it's not like they're trying to move into a new phase of the DCEU where it's like, they still exist, and they still happened. We're just moving to new characters, trying to tell new stories. No, they're not doing that. Apparently, according to the rumor, they want to basically erase that these movies ever existed and these things ever happened. And what's really disappointing to me is the Affleck and Cavill situation. I was so excited to see Affleck as Batman more and Cavill as Superman more. I thought they did absolutely fantastic jobs. I thought that they were great in the films, even in the films that weren't as good as something like the Snyder Cut. I thought that they did fantastic jobs, and they deserved more movies. They really, really did. And knowing that we're not going to see them again is just really, really sad and disappointing. And this is another tweet that was made. It says, concerning the Flash stuff, I think people are using the term erasing to an extreme. I don't take it as them erasing anything. It sounds more like a new universe is creating using old and new elements with similar ideas and origins occurring, and that will be the main universe. Okay. You're still ignoring the existence of previous work and ignoring the existence of previous characters that have existed. That's... Okay, guys, we didn't erase it. We just shoved it off to the side, and now we shoved, you know, a nice shiny new car in front of it so you can't look at it. Like, oh yeah, your fucking Kia Soul or something. Your little smart car. Yeah, it's here still, but here's a fucking Porsche in front of it. Like, clearly, you're shoving it to the side. One way or another, according to these rumors, they're shoving these characters and the stories to the side. It's Like, okay, don't call it erasing them. Just covering them up. Replacing them? What else? What does it matter if it's the word erasing or not? It's still the same end result where you don't see those characters anymore and you're not seeing actors play those characters and there's no acknowledgement that those stories ever happened. It says rumors offer that Henry Cavill's version of Superman will be out, which sees Sasha, is it pronounced Sasha or Sash? I don't know. Sasha, Supergirl, brought in to replace the Man of Steel as the new Superman of Earth. And Deadline actually said that this was going to happen a while ago when they first reported Supergirl was coming to the DCEU and that Supergirl is going to be used to reboot Superman. And then, of course, it also says same thing's happening, reportedly with Batman. And apparently, according to it, Leslie Grace, her version of Batgirl, will be the new Batman, the new protector of Gotham City. Guys, obviously, like I said, take everything with a grain of salt. Things could change. These could be real. These could be false. Who knows? We won't know until The Flash comes out or until we get some more news on it. But it's still really disappointing to hear about just because I liked Henry Cavill as Superman. I liked Ben Affleck as Batman. I wanted to see more films from them. Hell, I would love to see a Snyder cut too. Justice League with Snyder again. I thought that he did a great job with the first one, and I would see another one 100%. But unfortunately, it seems like they do not want to go in that direction anymore. And supposedly, the DCEU is getting a makeover, and it's now going to be the DCEU, like the MCU. So guys, that's all that I really had to discuss. We talked about Matrix and Witcher and J.K. Rowling and the DCEU. If you guys have any questions or topics you'd like me to discuss, feel free to leave them in chat. I'd be happy to answer. I'm not going to wrap up the stream quite yet, but I will be wrapping up in a bit. So if you guys have any questions, topics, leave them in chat. If you guys are enjoying the stream, though, make sure to give it a like. If you're not, give it a dislike. Consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon or YouTube memberships. You get a fancy badge next to your name. You get access to supporter streams. All that fun stuff. But thank you guys for being here. So SJW of them, LOL. I'm not saying X, I'm just saying X. Exactly. That's it. It's so true though. It is so true though. Oh, it's not erasing. It's just erasing. It's like, oh no. You guys look, they make, not all of them, okay? There are probably a couple great SJWs out there. If you are for social justice and you happen to be a warrior as well, congratulations. There might be a couple out there. People like that make themselves look really dumb. It's like they do it on purpose. And then they complain and private their Twitter when people call them out for it. Just throwing all that goodwill down the drain for no reason. Yeah, I mean, the Snyder Cut went really well. And I understand if they don't want to go forward with another Snyder Cut type of movie. That's okay. It's disappointing. But when they basically decide to erase previous works, that's too much. That's a couple steps too far. A great SJW. I'm sure that there are some nice folk out there who happen to label themselves as SJWs. We can't generalize too much, guys. Let's be nice. There might be like 2 or 3 of them out there. We just have to find the 2 or 3. It is on purpose. It's done so that they can play the victim. Yeah, I guess that's true, an aspect to it, because they say something fucking dumb and then talk shit, get hit, and then they end up getting criticized, and then they they decide to go on social media and cry about it. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I was attacked for having an opinion. You guys literally attack people for having opinions that aren't yours all the time. All the time. People on social media are terrible. So, hashtag boycott Warner Brothers is trending on Twitter, which, come on guys. Who, if there are people that are tweeting out boycott Warner Brothers over the erasing of the Snyderverse, how I get it. You like the Snyderverse movies. But where were you when people were tweeting hashtag boycott Warner Brothers for, like, firing Johnny Depp and keeping Amber Heard on projects? I'm just saying. But people are, of course, going on social media, like, attacking people with opinions. Someone said, saw boycott Warner Brothers trending because I thought it was something serious. No, it's just DCEU fans being insufferable again. Shut the fuck up, it says. Jesus Christ. Oh my gosh. People are... This is the internet, guys. Sam Raimi versus Zack Snyder. Who do you guys vote for? Which do you guys vote for? I think I think I'm going Sam. I think I'm going Sam. Of course, it's just... There are some people who are rightfully upset, saying, like, I don't care if bloggers hired by Warner Brothers tell me to move on. I would fight for restore the Snyderverse until the end. I would never lose hope. Yeah, I mean, again, I liked a lot of the DCEU movies. Ben Affleck doesn't want to come back. Yeah, well, that is a problem. But maybe if they hadn't treated Ben Affleck terribly on set and Henry Cavill terribly on set, maybe they'd want to come back. Yeah, I figured everyone would say Sam. I'm just gonna be honest. Hey, Snyder's not bad. Snyder's good. But, I mean, there's times to have a different opinion, and this isn't one of them. Like, truly. Oh, the test. Yeah. Do you guys want me to do the Harry Potter test? I swear, if I get fucking Gryffindor, I'm quitting YouTube. If I get Gryffindor, I'm quitting YouTube. I'm gonna choose the evil answers, specifically. It's gonna be like murder and violence, just so I don't get Gryffindor. I like Snyder. I think that Snyder has done really well in the past, but, Sam also has some great content. There's no wrong answer, though. There's no wrong answer. Yes, okay. I'll do a Harry Potter quiz, guys. Because we had brought it up. What one, though? Is there, like, an official one? My house elf name quiz? That's too far. My item would not be a sock, it would be a pumpkin. I'd live in a pumpkin. Who cares about the sock? Fucking Dobby. Okay. How is there an official website? Wizarding World. There's a quiz. Give it to me. Oh no. Oh, what? Why would I want to answer this stupid question? Okay, maybe... Oh, no, this is like a quiz, like, oh, is this... Whose mascot is this? Fuck that, dude. I'm not doing that. I'm not wasting my time with that. Alright, let's do this. Which Harry Potter house are you? Sure, dude. Okay. Oh, no. Yeah, until it shows something we don't want to see, and then I get banned. What's your element? Fire. Truth or fairness? Truth. Day or night? Night. Easy. Oh no. Now I have to actually start reading. What do you guys think I'm gonna be? Slytherin? If it's sitting here LARPing so I get the right answer, I just keep redoing it over and over and over until I get the answer I want 100%. Cheated on an exam using spelling quill. Spelling quill. Now he leads the spell class. He's a jerk, but props to him. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Snitch. Snitch LARPing. I'll tell him to ask my classmate. I'll lie and say I don't know. I'll tell the truth. I don't wait to be asked to tell the truth. If I find out, I'm telling them. I'm snitching 100% before the fucking test. Before the test. Snitching 100%. Maybe I'll get to go home early. You're locked in a duel with a skilled opponent. This is so stupid. They fire an unknown spell at you. I don't know. To murder? Isn't Expecto Patronum murdering someone? Isn't that murdering someone? Oh, fuck yes. How interesting was the mystery of the Philosopher's Stone to you? What are these numbers? 38%, 41%, 67%, 87%. What numbers are these? I want... let's go with 67%. Oh, the basilisk. What's the first thing you say? Listen, your guess is as good as mine. Obliviate, sure. Which of the following problems are difficult for you to cope with? Easy. Easy, dude. Excessive kindness. Easy. You guys know I'm just so kind. It's so hard every day to live my life. How do literally any of these answers make sense for the question? I'm going with excessive kindness. Your idea of a worthwhile summer vacation. Summer school. That's it, guys. A book. I could go with a book. As a gift, a snake turned into chocolate. Dinosaur turned into ice cream. Owl turned into a cupcake. Cake turned into a bear. Those are some really interesting questions. Any bakers in chat? We'll go with an owl. Ugh, birds though. We'll go with an owl, because that's like the best option here. You hate when others call you cowardly, selfish, ignorant, or ordinary. I don't give a fuck what other people say. We'll go with selfish. A girl in your class switched to writing the same essay topic you've been working on. I swear to God, if I have to log into a free account after this, I'm quitting streaming. Make an appointment with the professor. Teacher's pet. Easy. How do you want to go down in history? Wise sounds more like what a wizard would be. So wise. Are there more girls or boys in your class? What the fuck? I don't have a class. We'll go with boys. Here, let me do this real quick actually, guys. There we go, that's a little better. Oh, does it matter if people know I'm a witch or wizard? Oh, right. That's not supposed to happen, is it? Gotta murder them. Expecto Patronum their ass. I say I'm concerned about his mental health and will suggest calling a doctor. That's it. Easy. Flip it around. Agree and leave. 100%. What pet would you take? An owl, an otter, a lion, a snake. A snake. Easy. Oh, but otters are cute. A lion's powerful, though. Am I going to Hogwarts to murder people, or am I going to have just a nice pet? Because I wouldn't want to pick up after a lion. Snake. A potion that guaranteed to bring you love, glory, power, wisdom. Wisdom. This motherfucker. These motherfuckers literally based my answer off the first fucking question. It asked me, what element do you like the most? In the it literally says, J.K. Rowling says Gryffindor roughly corresponds to the element of fire. These motherfuckers. These motherfuckers. They literally picked my answer based on the first question. Oh, no, dude. Oh, that's it, guys. I'm ending stream in a minute. Oh, brother. Yes. Yes. Oh, no. What did I say? What did I say was gonna happen? These motherfuckers. Harry Potter house quiz. That one was clearly inaccurate. What's this one? Oh, another easy. Easy. Jesus Christ. Fucking Gryffindor. You motherfuckers thought no one in this chat, no one guessed Gryffindor. If there was one of you, ding, 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 you win. Vera's final stream. Oh my god. How the fuck did it pick that shit for me? How? Guys, whoever wrote that, whoever did this quiz, they're getting a strongly worded Kotaku hit piece from me. That's all I'm saying. How? That's it, chat. My streaming career, it's done. You're never seeing another stream from me again. That's it. That's it. Hope you guys had a great time. How the fuck? Oh, brother. Do I look like a motherfucking Gryffindor? Because if I do, I'm gonna expect a Patron on my ass. How the fuck? It literally based it off the first question. The first question was literally what element do you like the most? And I picked fire and it gave me Gryffindor. I literally would be happy with the Sorting Hat not giving me a house instead of Gryffindor. And instead I got fucking Gryffindor. Brother. That sucks. That's I'm never gonna recover from this. I'm never gonna recover from this shit. Wow, guys. That was... I think that there was maybe one person who thought that was gonna happen. Let me scroll up. Let me scroll up. Literally. No. Everyone said Slytherin, Ravenclaw. Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw. Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw. None of you. None of you saw that coming. I just broke expectations. What can I say? Man. Life is rough. Well, guys, we had our fun with the Harry Potter quiz. I'm gonna go and cry myself to sleep now. So guys, I'm gonna end my stream in just a minute. If you guys have any last minute questions or comments, feel free to leave them in chat, but I will be wrapping up in a second. I'm never gonna recover from this, guys. Never. I have another stupid quiz open. I literally should just LARP for the answers so that I get the house that I want. Whoever cursed Vera into getting that house is getting banned 100%. 100%. Oh no, here come the stupid Harry Potter jokes. Oh no. I literally would have been happy with any other answer. I literally would have been happy if the sorting hat was put on my head and the sorting hat said, go somewhere else, because we don't have an answer here. I would have... Literally all because I chose the fire element. That is it. Best 2 out of 3. Until I get Gryffindor again, then it becomes 3 out of 5. And then it becomes it's a slippery slope. Later, guys, I'll retake the test a bunch of times, and when I get the answer I want, I'll screenshot it and say, guys, the second time I took it, it gave me the right answer. Fucking Gryffindor, holy shit. Literally the worst of the worst answer. The worst of the worst answer. Like, all the other ones, even the one with the stupid badger would have been cooler. Oh, God. Well, guys, alright. I'm gonna wrap up the stream here. Thank you all for stopping by and hanging out tonight. Thank you guys for the support and the donations. I will be back to streaming on Thursday. Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern, I will be continuing my playthrough of Knights of the Old Republic. We are headed to Tatooine or Kashyyyk. I have to decide which one I want to head to. It really doesn't matter, though. You can head to either. But if you like the content, make sure to subscribe. Give the stream a like before you head out. Follow me on social media. Twitter, Minds, BitChute, Odyssey. All that fun stuff. Links are in the description. Join our Discord server. We are very active there, and I do tag you all when I go live in case YouTube doesn't notify you. This is, guys, listen, that Harry Potter test is not the way I expected this night to go. I'm just gonna keep it a stack. There's so many different ways this night could have gone. And I got the worst of the worst. Star Wars test. We could do a Star Wars test next stream. I'm sure there's something that we can test. And maybe I'm just a nice Republic diplomat in hiding. Jesus Christ, that'd be my fucking luck after this stream. But, I'm gonna wrap up stream. Thank you all so much for stopping by, and have a fantastic evening, everyone.